In today's video lecture, we will discuss about the brush tool and pencil tool, which are the drawing tools available in Photoshop. So Photoshop has two drawing tools for drawing or painting directly on the canvas with the currently selected foreground color paint. So foreground color, as you already know, this is the foreground color. So this color will be used by the brush and the pencil tool which are available here. So when I click this, I get a brush tool and a pencil tool. As you know that brush tool is mostly used for painting, and pencil is usually used for sketching. So when you use a brush tool, you can get the effects of a painting. When you use the pencil tool, then you can create an effect of a pencil sketching or pencil drawing, which is harder than the brush tool. So I'll first explain the brush tool, and as you can see that when I select the brush tool, the options, this particular area, it changes or according to this particular selection which I have done from here. So here the brush tool is being displayed that I have selected this tool, and currently whatever settings you have done from here, they will be displayed here, right? So this is the mainly defining that what options right now have been selected. Here when you click it, you can check the type of brushes that you have. So how to get a different set of brushes, you can click on these double arrows and you will get the whole list. So if you want to get the original brushes which are available by default with this, you can reset and OK with that. And these are the brush styles which are available with me that I can use by default, right? These are the different brushes which are available. You can see that every brush is having a different impact on the canvas, right? So these are the brushes which you can use. You can use the patterns also. These are the type of patterns that you can use for your brushes, right? This is spraying effect. If you want to create a spraying effect, you can use them. If you want to create a just like you can say a spatter effect, then you can use this, right? So you can choose any type of brush which is available here. There can be different sizes for the brushes. The sizes of the brush you can define from here. As you have to press and move this, you can see that the brush size is increasing. So let me first explain you with the size of the brush. Suppose I choose this brush type and it has this size, 5 pixel size of diameter. If you click this, then you can see 118 pixel of diameter. If you click here, you get a bigger, you can get a very big brush size. So whatever is your requirement, according to that you can specify your brush, right? This is the diameter of the brush. When I click anywhere, or when I say when I click somewhere, then whatever is the option that I have selected, that will be taken up, and I can increase the size, and then I will just close this, right? You can see when I clicked on this brush is painted here, right? So if I do this, you can see that the foreground color that is used for defining the brush on this. If I reduce the size, I can reduce the size. So you can see you have a reduced size of the brush. Now coming to the modes. The modes will always be available when you are using the brush on a background color. So the normal you have just seen, I will keep on drawing the different brushes that different modes that I am selecting from here. This is the normal mode. Then dissolve means it will dissolve with the background. You can see that its edges are just dissolving with the background. Then darken, it will dark the color this effect is in addition with the with respect to the background. Multiply, this is the multiply effect. If you select color burn, then you can get this effect. If you want to select linear burn, then this effect. That slightly the changes are shown in the brush visibility. Then this is screen, it will just reduce the lighten color. Then color dodge is like this. Then you can do the linear dodge, it will be almost white in color. Then overlay, you can see that these are the different options that you can use with a single brush by choosing the right mode. So this is again the vivid light. Then you have the hard light, this is the hard light. Then you have the linear light like this. Then you have the pin light, and it will be like this. Then you have the difference and exclusion. So different, you will see that it will always with respect to the background color. Then exclusion also, it will always be with respect to the background color by excluding the color. Then hue, what is the hue of this color, what is the saturation of this color, what is the basic color. So it will be the actual color which is being used. And then luminosity means how much brightness is there in the color. So these are the different modes that you can use with one brush. Now opacity means the transparency or the you can say the clarity of the brush. So if I select suppose I first choose let me choose a bigger brush like this, and if I draw, I have chosen the luminosity, so I'll just choose the normal version. So if I draw it, it will be like this. Now suppose I choose 75% of opacity, so you can see that it is a duller version of this. If I choose 50%, then that means the transparency is reduced by 50%. You can see that here is the mixture of pink and brown color which is working as the background. Let us do with 25%. So again we will draw, you can see now it is more of the brown color. And if you just choose the 0, say 0 luminosity, so 1% will also be okay. You can see even if I try to draw, I won't be able to get anything because the opacity, or you can say the transparency is taken as 100%, right? So opacity is how much you can see through a particular object. So if it is 100%, that means the pure color. If it is 0 or 1%, that means you can see through that color. So that is why we can define the transparency by using opacity. Then we have the flow. So flow means how when you are moving the brush, how fluently the color is being sprayed on the board. So you can see that here, you can see that flow is this 44%. So if I reduce it further, then you will see that flow will be a bit different, right? So here is another option which is airbrush. If you want to create an effect of airbrush, then you can use this one. I choose this, but this brush, and I do it like this. I give the opacity 100%, flow as 100%, and you can see that this is the airbrush effect, right? So this is the airbrush effect, right? So let me clear this screen for you, and let us try with some patterns here. So you can go below and you can choose any other brush that you want. So if I change the color, suppose I choose a greener color and I do this, you can see that here the edges are softer because I have chosen a different brush. So here suppose I choose this brush, so its effects will be totally different, right? And if I choose this brush, its effect will be totally different. If I just do it like this, so it will be like this, right? So if I choose another, say this brush, then you can see its effects are totally, so you can see that this will be behaving like a brush with some actual paint effects, right? So these are the different brushes that we have. So in case of the brushes, there are so many different options which are available in Photoshop. This small two arrows contain a whole set of brushes which are available here. If you have if you have some file which can have some Photoshop acceptable brushes types, then you can load them also. But otherwise, there are, starting from the assorted brushes going to the wet media, there is a whole range of different brushes which you can use. For example, if I choose the assorted brushes, then you can see that these are the different type of brushes you can have. Now suppose I select this one, this brush with a better diameter. So if I draw this, you can see that I can create this type of effect. Now if I choose another brush from this range, suppose I chose this one, then you can see that I get a different effect, right? Let me change the color to another color, say this one. So here again at the bottom there are so many different brushes which are available. Let me choose this one. So you can see that you can create different type of drawings here. If I select this, go to this option again, and I choose, suppose, the wet media brushes, I have to say OK with this, and I choose this brush. So it will have a different effect. It will be just like a watercolor type effect, right? If this is chosen, then this is the different effect, right? Then again I can go to any other option. Say there are some special effect brushes, I select them, and these are the different special effects that I can create. If I want to create bubbles, I can use this. I can reduce the size of these bubbles. These are here. So this is how you can create it, right? When you keep your cursor on this, you will get the name of this. Like this is a scattered roses. Then these are the azalea. So if I click this, you are able to draw this. Let me erase this everything, and you can see that I can just clicking and I will be able to print these effects. This is the drippy watercolor. So drippy watercolor is like this. If I use the any other option, say this option is scattered wildflowers. So these are the scattered wildflowers. Then these are the ducks not in a row. So you can create ducks not in a row. So if I if I choose the, say, maybe darker color, you can see the ducks in a better way. So these are the ducks which are not in a row. So these are the hypno lines. So these are the hypno lines, right? So if you want to make some tumble planet, so these are the tumble planets. If you want to make some say butterflies, then you can choose this. I have created these butterflies. You can change the color and you can create different type of different colored butterflies over here, right? So this is how different brushes you can choose. So brush choosing is very easy here. You just have to click on these two greater than symbols, and you will get the brushes from this range to this range, and you can choose any option that you want. Any option that you want, right? You can increase the size and define your specific brushes. Now coming to the pencil tool. The pencil tool also works like a brush tool, but the only effect is that it has harder edges. So let me first choose the pencil from the this option. This is the pencil tool. We can choose a different color, and here is the, so you can see that it is just like drawing. So you can define different type of pencil, you can reduce the diameter, and you can see that this will be the effect of a pencil. It will just be like a brush, but the only difference is that it will have the harder brushes. I'll just reset the brushes, so you can use any other brushes. So suppose I use this one. So this is how the pencil will work, okay? And you again have the same modes that we have used in the case of brush. So this is lighten. So these are the different options that you can use with your pencil tool. So their effect will be a bit different than the brush. So let's see the difference. So difference is red and exclusion is like this. So here you have the opacity, but you don't have the airbrush after it. So when you use the auto erase, it will draw the background color over the auto erase option. This paints the background color over areas containing the foreground color. If the cursor is over the foreground color, when you start dragging, the area is erased to the background color. If you start dragging over the area that does not contain the foreground color, the area is painted with the foreground color. So let me just check this one, and again I'll try. So you can see here I just change to the normal option. So this is my pencil option. I will just increase the size of it, and you can see that if there is the same color, then when I use the auto erase, then there will be the color of the background if I choose the auto erase, right? If the color is not there, then it will be drawn. But if I draw on the foreground color, then the foreground color will be erased if I press the auto erase, right? So you can try this option as well for practicing the brush tool and the pencil tool.